Welcome to the January 25th meeting of the Town of Victor Planning Board. We'll start with a pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. Some announcements. Emergency exits are to your right and left on the side. Restrooms are through the entrance door and immediately to your left. Please be sure to sign the attendance sheet at the back of the meeting room, even if you are a developer or are presenting an application. There are business cards at the back table next to the sign-in sheet to take with you, with the email address and phone number for the planning department. Also on the back table is a copy of the resolutions that will be read tonight, along with the agenda. Please turn off your cell phones. If you must take a call, please do it out in the hall. And the same goes for conversations. If you need to speak to someone, please have the conversation out in the hall. We have 2 meeting minutes, one for November 9th, 21, and one from December 14, 21. Any comments or questions about those? Hearing none, would somebody make a motion to approve these 2 minutes?
I'll move.
Al moves,
Second.
and Joe Lembeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any correspondence?
Ernie, I have to abstain for the December 15th.
Oh, okay, Al abstains the December 14th. He was unavoidably absent.
Correct.
Dave, anything from planning board, or town board?
We're good tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other boards or committees here? Hearing none. The legal notice for the public hearings appeared in the Daily Messenger along with under-review signs being posted on the subject parcels. Postcards were mailed to property owners within a minimum of 500 feet from the location for the initial public hearing date of each application. For applications carried over, please refer to the Planning and Building Office. And with regard to public hearings, speakers are requested to limit comments to 3 minutes and will be asked to conclude comments at 5 minutes. We have a couple of agenda items which have been removed. The first, the Bristol Garden Growing Greenhouses, has been removed until the February 8th meeting. Delta Sonic Car Wash has also been removed to the February 8th meeting. Will they change that?
Yep.
Okay, to the 22nd, that's the Delta Sonic Car Wash. Yes. Oh, Kim. You know, I always forget it.
You do. I don't know why you always forget me.
It's up to you to stand up there and just
Right in front of you.
stare at me. I'll know what's going on.
So, your next meeting is going to be February 8th with a public hearing for Bristol Garden Growing Greenhouses. That public hearing has been carried over for several meetings now. That's at 7432 State Route 96. The applicant is requesting approval to construct 4 Westbrook greenhouses, 24 feet by 144 foot long and 14 foot high, and 5 Westbrook greenhouses at 24 foot by 120 by 14 foot high for growing flowers and vegetable plants. And then Dish Wireless at Benson Road, located on Benson Road. The applicant is requesting approval to replace equipment on the existing wireless facility, and then any carryovers from tonight.
Okay, thank you. Our first item is the Van Bortle parking lot expansion. The public hearing on this one is still open.
Good evening, Board. My name is Brad Humberstone, and I am here representing Van Bortle in this application. I am the Director of Architecture at Mitchell Design Build, and we are here to represent this project, which has been tabled since September 14th. At that meeting, there was a lot of discussion, a lot of comments. Really what we wanted to do was kind of regroup, go back to the owner, address those comments formally, and put together another package and resubmit. So here I am tonight to do that. A quick recap of what the project entails. This is an expansion of an existing parking lot at the Van Bortle Subaru site. The property is owned by the dealership, the Van Bortle dealership, and the expansion is to the east along Route 96. This is a site which currently has a house and some outbuildings, as well as a driveway, and connects to Route 96. The proposal is to demolish the abandoned house, as well as all the outbuildings, a shed, small barn, a concrete pad, remove the driveway. There are about 8 trees that are impacted, and then those will be removed, and the area will be resurfaced to extend the parking lot, again, to the east. A couple new additions to help clarify, what were some issues previously back in September that I wanted to bring up. There are 2 parcels which are going to be combined. This was something that was brought up at the last meeting, and in talking with the owner, it just seemed to make sense. We realized that we were going to have some green space issues to deal with that parcel, and we really just thought that was, combining them would really clear that up and not muddy the waters on that. The second point that I wanted to bring up is we're going to eliminate the eastern egress point, which was previously part of the job. This was essentially the old driveway, and it connected the old driveway of the house, and it connected to 96. There seemed to be a lot of discussion that was not wanted. Our proposal is to remove that completely, but we do want to keep the curb cut just to avoid any right-of-way work, and in case something happens in the future where, I don't know, something wants to come back in there and we don't want to do any work to the curb cut. So, and the last additional item was that this was presented at the zoning board last week. We requested an area variance for a front setback. Currently, there's supposed to be an 80-foot setback to parking along the 96 corridor. We have a little over 41 feet. The board, did not object to this, as the whole premise is to align with the existing parking lot, and they preferred that, so that this was presented last Tuesday night with relatively no objection. So that's all I have for this project. I'm here to take some questions.
Anybody from the board have any questions on this? We do have a memo from Department of Transportation saying that, it disappeared. In essence, they don't object to 2 curb cuts, but no third one. If you want to move one of the other ones, still can only have 2.
So they want us to eliminate the curb cut that already exists?
Well, did you get the memo?
I think they're saying just do what you're proposing here.
Yeah, right here. Because we still do not agree with providing a third access point for this business. We understand that it's a separate parcel, but it is currently proposed to operate as one business. A cross-access agreement can be put in place so that even in the event of the sale of the property, access would still be allowed. As for emergency access, the 2 existing entrances already allow for emergency vehicle access if one is blocked. And then they conclude by saying, if the town and developers still believe this driveway is absolutely necessary, we would allow it if one of the other 2 existing driveways was removed.
They had further.
Oh,
I
what do
think
we?
Scott has it in his hand.
Oh. Okay. Do I have it over here?
No. it was in your packet.
All right.
You can read that one.
Okay. Something additional just came in today. Says the plan shows grass outside of the proposed parking lot at that farthest entrance to the east.
Yep.
Its entirety of private property, and no specific work in the state right-of-way. We accept what they are proposing at the road edge. In other words, they want to only leave the driveway portion that is in the state right-of-way alone and get rid of the rest of the driveway, similar to what else has been done just about 300 feet to the west, then we are all right with it. No work in the state right-of-way means no highway work permit is needed. If this separate parcel is ever to be redeveloped as something else, and there is a desire to have an entrance there in the future, then the town will seek Department of Transportation input. It's signed Greg Trost, Assistant Resident Engineer.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
Well, since that was your memo,
It came from Joe.
oh,
It was in my pile.
Somewhere.
I was
Buried
looking.
in there somewhere,
Oh,
I'm
it's
sure.
weird. Anyway, but I just read it, so.
It was in the
Things,
Dropbox.
Joe?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Scott?
I've got a couple of questions.
Sure.
Relative to the curb cuts that you are proposing to retain, that's the area from like edge of pavement to the right-of-way that's currently existing, and the rest thereafter is lawn and
Yes.
landscaping?
Yep, you're talking all the way to the east side, correct?
So DOT hasn't asked you to remove that, so I don't think
Right.
we probably could either, okay? I'm sorry. Was the variance granted then when you appeared before the ZBA, the area variance?
It was not, I think we were out of order on how we presented. I think it had to go to the county board first, and then we're going to be representing to the zoning board.
Okay, so any approval we might issue tonight would be contingent on receiving that
Understood.
variance?
We don't have a resolution.
The third entrance is out. I guess I appreciated hearing the comment on merging the two lots together that you're speaking about, because it seems to kind of jump out at me when I look at your project as a necessity. And so that means you're going to be doing a lot line amendment or an administrative subdivision of some
Yep,
sort?
administrative, that's what we were told. Yep,
Okay.
correct.
In conjunction with that, could you provide a surveyor's certification on the boundary that you've got shown here on your drawings?
Sure.
So that we have some confidence in the dimensions that are being shown? You've got multiple bearings and distances and tie distances from those bearings, but there's no surveyor's seal or certification to tell us that the property lines from which those dimensions are being taken are actually accurate. The density calculation that you did over under zoning information, I take it that's a gross calculation where all the parcels are considered combined, and then you're taking the impervious area and dividing that into the overall parcel area, is that correct?
I believe that's correct, yes.
Individually, do the parcels satisfy the requirements for green space?
Individually, no, that's why they're being combined.
Okay, on your final plans, would you show whatever the final tally is then on a per parcel basis? Because I guess you don't want to subdivide the remaining lots, right?
No, there's going to be 3 lots here as
Lots.
opposed to 4.
And also on your site location, you show 3 parcels, but there's actually 4, right?
Yes, but 2 of them are being combined to 1.
Okay,
The site location is a proposed final.
okay, so the site location is upon completion of the subdivision?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah, it was a little postage stamp lot that didn't make a whole lot of
I
sense.
saw
Yep.
it on there. It was pretty vague. I think that's all I have. I just think it's important that when you're playing around with property lines, that you have a surveyor sign off on it.
Okay,
Okay.
understood.
Well,
Now, they hit all the hot buttons I had with the trees that you're removing and then replacing with some landscaping, the
Yep.
combination of the lots themselves, and then the elimination of the third access from the DOT's perspective, so I'm fine with this.
okay. Al?
I'm good as well. Again, it had addressed all the discussion points we had at the last meeting, so I'm fine.
Well, if everybody is ready for a resolution, will anybody from the public have any questions or comments on this application? Hearing none, have a motion to close the,
Could I just ask a question? Wes, are they okay with your stuff?
So we haven't taken a full detailed look at the updated site plan as of yet, but on quick glance, it appears that we won't have any further concern, but I think one of the conditions in this draft resolution would be that the town engineer be satisfied with our previous comment letter, and in order to do that, what we would do is provide a letter to close the loop on all of our comments to help confirm that our concerns have been addressed. So I don't have a problem with, if the planning board wants to move forward, and Labella can follow up with anything that remains to be resolved.
how do you want to rework that condition then, number 2?
I think I would just leave it right the way it is, right? Because that was the date of our letter, September 14th, 2021. So we will we'll take a look and make sure that those comments have been addressed prior to, presenting these plans to you as chairperson to sign.
Anything else you want to add or subtract from that?
I don't think so. I think we need to also take a nice look at the comments that Scott Harder shared tonight. Make sure that those are resolved, including having a surveyor's certification on the property lines and the measurements. And that would be fine.
Okay. I guess
Motion to close the public hearing?
we're going to do that now.
I'll make that motion.
Joe Logan makes the motion to close the public hearing. Have a second.
Second.
Joe Lindbeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. And we do have a resolution here. It's dated, today's date, January 25th, 2022. Application number 31 SP 2021 for Van Bortle Subaru parking lot expansion, 6327 State Route 96. Whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 15 of them. Whereas the Town of Victor Planning Board reviewed the unlisted action on January 25, 2022, and identified no significant impacts, now therefore be it resolved that the project, Van Bortle Subaru parking lot expansion, will not have a significant impact on the environment, and that a negative declaration be prepared. Now therefore be it resolved that the application of Mitchell Design Build site plan entitled Van Bortle Subaru parking lot expansion, drawn by Mitchell Design Build, dated August 2021, received by the Planning Board August 10, 2021, last revised January 14, 2022. Planning Board application number 21 SP 2021 be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. 1, that no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid as per fee reimbursement local law adopted November 25, 1996. 2, that the comments in a letter dated September 14, 2021 from Labella Associates be addressed. 3, that comments from the New York State Department of Transportation dated August 17, 2021 and September 15, 2021 be addressed. 4, that comments from the Code Enforcement Officer dated January 21, 2022 be addressed. 5, that comments from the Stormwater Manager dated August 31, 2021 be addressed. 6, that an approval from the Zoning Board of Appeals for an area variance for front setback requirements be granted. I guess that's okay. 7, that an administrative lot line adjustment be completed to combine tax map numbers 28.04-02-65, that's 6315 New York State Route 96, with tax map number 28.04-2-64, that's 6305 New York State Route 96. 8, that a demolition permit be obtained from the building department. Ongoing conditions, 1, there's only 1, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4. And be it further resolved that the Planning Board Secretary distribute the Planning Board's approval letter. We have a motion to approve?
I think we got one more item that I mentioned regarding the
We want to put the survey item in there?
certification by a surveyor as to the
You got some
property lines.
some language?
I would just say, certification to the property line shown on the drawing by a licensed land surveyor.
Got that? All right. With that amendment, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Joe Logan moves. Second?
I'll second.
Scott seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. You'll be getting a letter.
Thank you. Have a good night.
2.
Our next item is the Swartz Pole Barn, 44 SP 2021. It's 7716 Lower Fishers Road, Zone Limited Development District. Owner is Kevin Swartz. Tax map number 6.00-1-60.110. Applicant is requesting approval to construct a 36 by 24-foot pole barn with a 10-foot ceiling. Also included is an 8 by 24-foot porch.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me some time tonight to speak. I'm here on behalf of myself and my wife Beth, and the reason being we're hoping to construct a 24 by 36 pole barn. In the area where we hope to do this, there was previously a 10 by 12 shed that was there when we purchased the home in 2016, and the shed had fallen into a state of disrepair. The base had rotted, the ceiling was rotted, and it was shifting off the foundation. So I spent some time this past summer removing that and disposing of that at the town recycling center. And as I said, we bought the home in 2016, and really our goal since then has been to maintain and improve the property as much as we can. We maintain 4.1 acres, about 2 of which are mowed and 2 of which are wooded. So we have several tractors, blowers, lawn carts, and such, trailers to remove debris and to maintain the property. So we feel that a pole garage would be a safe place to store the equipment to allow us to maintain this property. And of course, the goal would be to match the color of the pole garage, both the roof and the siding, to the color of our home, which is brown and beige. And again, I did do the research around distance from the property lines, and that seemed to be well within the bounds. So at this time, I welcome any questions that the board may have.
Al, anything?
No questions, Ernie.
Joe Logan?
No, you provided some images of the barn that you intend to put up there, and I guess the only thing is if it's, I'd be interested to see if any of the neighbors have objected. Have you spoken with them about
I
it?
have spoken to the neighbors that surround us and let them know about the intent of the project, and yeah, all seem to be okay with that and understood, so.
It seemed like there was enough greenery and trees and everything else to provide some good screening, so I've got no issues with it otherwise, so that's fine.
This is the photograph of what you'd like to,
Correct. The only difference would be that it's not the color, but that's, yes, generally what it would look like in terms of the dimensions, so.
there are 2 garage doors. Is there a driveway proposed to access the?
No, there wouldn't be a driveway. That would just really be to make sure I can get tractors in and out, but I wouldn't pave that up to that point. That wouldn't be, it would just be grass surrounding it, so.
Okay, that's the only question I had.
That was what you,
That was the previous shed that was taken down this summer, yep.
hey, Joe?
No, it looks very nice. I see you've got gutters and downspouts.
Yep, that would be part of
And
the
it does
project.
drain off. And electricity, but no running water in the barn?
Correct, I would do electric, but no running water.
Thank you.
Yep.
Wes, anything?
No, I don't have any comments.
Okay, thanks. Any comments from members of the public? Questions? Nothing? That being the case, I have a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll move.
Second?
Joe Lindbeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. We do have a resolution for the Swartz Pole Barn, 7716 Lower Fishers Road. Today's date, 1/25/22, application number 44 SP 2021. Whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 7. Whereas the Town of Victor Planning Board reviewed the unlisted action on January 25th, 2022, and identified no significant impacts, now therefore be it resolved that the project, Swartz Pole Barn, will not have a significant impact on the environment, and that a negative declaration be prepared. And be it further resolved that the application of Kevin Swartz site plan entitled Swartz Pole Barn received by the Planning Board December 4, 2021. Planning Board application number 44, SP 21, be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. 1, that no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid as per fee reimbursement local law adopted November 25, 1996. Ongoing conditions, 1, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4. 2, that a building permit be obtained before the start of construction, and be it further resolved that the planning board secretary distribute the planning board's approval letter. We have a motion on this.
So moved.
Joe Logan moves. Who's second?
I'll second.
Scott seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you'll be getting a letter.
Thank you very much.
Next agenda item is 212 Whistle Stop Roadhouse demo at 212 Whistle Stop Road. Owner is Melkan Babigian?
I'm sorry?
Pronouncing that right?
Say it again?
Babigian?
Babigian, yes. Doesn't happen too often. You can imagine the mail we get.
Tax map number 5.01-1-26.000, 48 SP 2021. It's Zone Limited Development District, which is why he's here. Applicant is requesting approval to demolish the existing structure, leaving the foundation intact. Okay, tell us what you want to do.
We embarked on this journey back in June when we bought the property under foreclosure. It took 5 months to get the folks who were foreclosed on out, so we're a little behind from a point of view of being able to get plans and be able to show you kind of more of what we want to do with the property. The existing house was in a condition where we originally felt that we'd be able to take and try to utilize a significant portion of the existing house, but in the time that we took and filed for this meeting to get the permit, we have kind of found and decided that even keeping the foundation would be difficult for us. So that is something that would change in terms of how the board has it listed in front of them, where we would essentially like to build a house on this property that my family can grow in, my wife Callie and I, and we have 2 kids, and I have 2 older kids and about 6 grandchildren, so that's been a joy. But it's really a property for us to be able to take and have our home and grow and live. We were excited about it. It's in Victor, it's in Ontario County, it's also got Pittsford schools, so we know some people on the street, and essentially the project is one which we're going to take and hopefully be able to build something that we like as opposed to what's there. Anything that we need to do for the town in terms of providing information on what's in the house prior to taking it down. We're going to harvest as much of the house as we can. That's the intention, in order to be able to try and use a lot of the timbers. They're there from 1985. You can't get floor joists or anything like that anymore. Very straight, but the amount of damage and the situation in the house right now is kind of a problem. So that's where we kind of reached our decision when we finally were able to gain access to the property, to be able to take and file for taking it down. And then we'll be coming back to see you probably a few times, showing you plans and all the things we want to do. So hopefully we can get that approved.
And I'll just comment here, we do have a memo from Babette Huber, the town historian, and she says, I have no problem with the demo. Okay, anybody from the board have any questions about this one? Start over here. Al?
No questions.
Joe? Logan?
No, looks like you're going to clean up the site and get a beautiful property with it.
Yep.
Everybody we've met seems to be familiar with that address, so it's been interesting, to say the least.
Matt?
The only question I have is just a clarification. You're here tonight for the demo, indicating that you're going to keep the foundation, and then you mentioned that you might change the footprint of the building based on what you found at this point. Will you be coming back to the town for then some limited site plan approval on the new house?
Not only site plan approval, but we'll have a full set of plans. We want to show you what we want to do, and we want, because it's an LDD, we want to be in a position where we can show you what we want to do. So yes, the footprint of the house would change, based on the fact that now that we've been in there and now that we've been getting into everything in the house, there's nothing we want to keep. And in meeting with the architect and meeting with the engineers, their suggestions were that if we were to take and to keep that foundation, we'd be in a situation where we would probably be spending more money making compromises associated with how that foundation's constructed. And we don't know what we're going to find on the outside of that foundation once we get into it. So the comments that came back from the people who are engineers and architects were really, you probably want to get rid of this.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with that scenario. I just wanted to make sure that what we're granting you tonight potentially then is just what you've asked for in terms of the demo, but keeping the foundation, you'll have to, I don't know if that can be amended or if it requires another application.
It's in the findings of fact. I'll read that when we get to it.
Okay. We're going to address a new foundation then? Okay, so, yeah, leaving the foundation intact for a future home, but I think you're saying that you don't want to leave the foundation intact, right?
We do not. I don't believe that was on the actual permit application, though. That's the other thing.
I think you can just amend it as part of the resolution when you read it.
Okay, so, okay. No, that was,
Unless you have an issue with him removing the foundation.
I don't have an issue with them removing the foundation. I just know how it was advertised and how it was presented, and I just wanted to make sure we were clear on it, that's all.
I appreciate that, and we'll take and make a point to make sure that everything in the future is laid out properly, and we're not asking for anything above and beyond what you have presented in front of you.
Fine.
Like I said, we're probably going to be here a couple more times, I'm sure.
Always welcome. Bill?
I just wanted to say, commend you for taking this on. This has been an issue for the neighbors and the town for quite a while, and it's a big project to take on, to demolish and start fresh. So commend you for doing that, and that's all I got.
We appreciate it. We built a property, we owned a property on Cayuga Lake since 1987. Both my parents have passed away, but we actually tore that down and built a structure there that came out really nice. So a lot of glass, a lot of steel, more modern, but very basic shapes. So we're hoping to do something very similar here, and excited to be able to come back and show you those plans once we've been able to kind of take everything away.
We'll be here. Anybody from the public have any question or comment? Yes, step up, please. Oh, no, step.
Hi, how are you?
No, you have to come up to the mic.
Okay. I'm one of your neighbors. I'm at 190.
Hi, how are you? I'm Malcolm.
My question is, you have a big metal gate
Your
down on the
your name and
street.
address, please.
I'm sorry. My name is Faith Adams. I live at 196 Whistle Stop Road.
Okay.
And right now, there's a big metal gate when you come down the street in front of 212. And I was wondering, does he plan to keep that gate there?
Do you?
No, the gate was put in place because we needed to make sure that nobody was gaining access to the property. We had a significant issue with the family and other people who just felt they could go there and do whatever they wanted to do. It is going to be a construction situation, so from a safety point of view, we don't want anybody to be able to just wander onto the property or think they can go on there while it's under construction, especially with the demo that's going to go on. We've removed 8 30-yard dumpsters of garbage and all kinds of stuff already. And that has nothing to do with the structure or anything to do with the house. This was all just...
Right, could you make sure you're speaking into the microphone?
Oh, I'm
please?
sorry.
It's okay, it's the only way we can go recorded it, though.
No, we plan on we put that there after I talked to the code gentleman, and that's just there as a temporary situation to keep people out.
My second question is, does he plan to demolish the barn that's on the property as well?
No, this has nothing to do with the barn. We really like the barn.
Okay, those are my only 2 questions.
Thank you. Anybody else? Questions or comments? Hearing none, accept the motion to close the public hearing. All moves.
Second?
Joe Limbeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. Wes, did you have anything on this?
No, I don't have any comments. Thank you.
All right, we do have a resolution for you tonight. This is for the 212 Whistle Stop Road house demolition. Today's date, 1/25/22, application number 48 SP 2021. And by the way, I assume she's going to tell me if somebody.
Yeah, she'll tell you.
Okay. Whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, there are 7. Number 2 being, it is the intent of the applicant to demolish the existing house at 212 Whistle Stop Road, and the language leaving the foundation intact for future harm, I guess, is coming out, correct?
Yes.
Whereas the Town of Victor Planning Board reviewed the unlisted action on January 25, 2022, and identified no significant impacts, now therefore be it resolved that the project 212 Whistle Stop Road house demolition will not have a significant impact on the environment, and that a negative declaration be prepared. And be it further resolved that the application of Melcon Pavilion site plan entitled 212 Whistle Stop Road house demolition received by the Planning Board December 23, 2021, Planning Board application number 48 SP 2021, be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. Number 1, that no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid as per fee reimbursement local law adopted November 25, 1996. Ongoing conditions: 1, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4. 2, that a demolition permit be obtained from the building department, and be it further resolved that the planning board secretary distribute the planning board's approval letter. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Joe moves, Joe Logan moves, and a second?
I'll second.
Galena seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You got your first step.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. It was nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Please tell when it's winter. I can't get paper apart. Next is the Guinan Pole Barn, 6485 County Road 41. Owner is Jeffrey Guinan. Tax map 40.0023.310. Applicant is requesting approval to erect a 30 by 48 by 16-foot pole barn for personal storage, and I will have to recuse myself on this one. So Joe Logan will take over as vice chair.
Thanks, Ernie.
Okay, you're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
If you want to present your
Absolutely.
proposal, that'd be great.
My name is Jeff Guinan. I'm representing myself and my wife, Mary Guinan, the owners of the property. And as you know from my maiden voyage here before, the homestead sold directly to the east of me, and with that went the barns and the storage that we all enjoyed. I still am the part owner in 62 acres of corn between myself and the homestead. I have the atypical side-by-side four-wheeler lawnmower that are out in the snow right now and in desperate need of storage. I believe we gave you some a color chart so that the siding and the trim and the roof colors will be on there, and the building estimate from the builder of all the materials that'll be used. It's 15 feet from the corn lot. There's it's grass right now, so it'll be simply reducing the mow time that I have in the summertime, saving gas all the way. I have installed a culvert pipe and then the French drain, take the water out to the road. And, when the snow clears, we're gonna cover that with gravel and crusher run, and then take the sod out of where the barn goes, and hopefully get on a calendar for Bear Hill Builders. It'll, 48 feet will bring it to within 30 feet of the back of the house. The whole barn will be at the back of the house, and electricity is planned perhaps sometime down the road, but with building materials what they are and the cost of building a barn, I don't have any plans right away to get electricity out there. So that would about cover it. And take any questions.
Okay, thank you. Let's start with the board. Joe, you have any questions?
No, it looks pretty straightforward. I'm looking at your quote from Bear Hill Builders, though, and there's a note at the bottom that says, owner check for underground wires before drilling. Be careful with that, because you need to make that call to 811, and
Yeah.
when they do the stakeout, it's only good for 10 days. So
Yeah.
you might want to coordinate, make sure you coordinate with him, or even have him call, just to cover yourself in case something comes up. Other than that, this looks like a pretty decent project, so.
Pat?
From this drawing that was presented, that seems to go back a little ways, are the contours accurate to the extent that this is at a high point and the drainage falls off to the southwest and I guess a little bit to the north?
Yep.
That's correct?
Yes, sir.
So there's no problem for drainage or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay, and you're intending to put it looks like 15 feet off the easterly property line, is that correct?
Yep.
And so you're in compliance with the side setback requirements?
Yes, sir.
I have no more questions.
What's the rear side setback? Is that 40 feet? Do you know, Scott?
Side setback is 15.
Yeah.
15 for
15 all the way around for accessory, okay. Thank you. Al?
I'm all set. Thanks.
Okay. It's open to the public for comment. Anyone from the public interested in commenting or have questions? Susie, anybody? No? Okay. I have no problems with this application. Looks fine.
Bill, I got a
Wes?
question.
Yeah, I was about to go to you.
So maybe I didn't catch the full discussion of how you introduced the project. I thought I heard something about a potential French drain heading out towards the road. Is that something that's proposed as part of this project?
It's already been installed by
It's being installed, okay.
Brandon Bodine, landscaping, I guess he's called, right from here in Victor. And the original construction, it was a swale that runs along the back of the house and then runs directly out to the road to a culvert pipe that goes under County Road 41. And it just had a few high spots in it to where the water would pool normally to the east of my garage and my driveway. So he took care of those, put in the French drain, the stone, the whole 9 yards all the way out, and then put a culvert pipe so my driveway can extend past the house and get to the barn, which for the foreseeable future will just be covered with gravel and stone.
Okay. All right, that satisfies my question. Thanks.
Okay, all set, Wes? All right, hearing nothing from the public, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll move that.
Second.
Scott moves, Joe Limbeck seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0. And we do have a resolution, so that draft resolution is in front of us. I assume, Wes, there's no changes to this that's needed?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, all right. So this is application 46 SB to 2021, whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 7 of them. Whereas the Town of Victor Planning Board reviewed the unlisted action on January 25th, 2022, and identified no significant impacts, now therefore be it resolved that the project Guinan Pole Barn will not have a significant impact on the environment, and that a negative declaration be prepared. And be it further resolved that the application of Jeffrey Guinan, site plan entitled Guinan Pole Barn, received by the Planning Board December 17th, 2021, Planning Board application 46 SP 2021, be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. That no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid per fee reimbursement, local law adopted November 25th, 1996. Ongoing conditions, number one, that the site plan comply with Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including section 4. 2, that a building permit be obtained prior to start of construction. And be it further resolved that the planning board secretary distribute the planning board's approval letter. Do I hear a motion on the resolution in front of us?
I'll move.
Al moves.
I'll second.
Todd seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried 4-0.
Thank you very much for your time.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Back to you,
Joe.
Ernie.
Yep. Our last item, agenda item is the T-Mobile/Transcend Wireless at Cobblestone. It's 47 SP 2021, 13 SU 2021. It's at 140 Cobblestone Court. The owner is Cobblestone Court LP, tax map number 1.02-1-8.000/PLZA, and it's zoned commercial. Applicant is requesting approval of an existing wireless station, which includes replacement of panel antennas, removal and installation of coax cables, and one battery cabinet and site support cabinet. Replace 3 antennas at existing wireless communication facility. Proceed.
How are you? Can you hear me okay? I'm Matt Kerwin with Barclay Damon, law firm in Syracuse, on behalf of T-Mobile and Transcend Wireless, proposing this modification request that you just described. So it's an existing facility at 140 Cobblestone Court, as the plan depicts there. T-Mobile currently has 6 antennas, 4 on the western side of the building and 2 on the northern side of the building. I have a pointer if that helps. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Great, thanks. So there's 2 right there. There's 2 more there on the western side of the building, and then in the northeastern corner, there's 2 more. Right now, they are they are flush with the top of the parapet wall, right here, on both sides. But this structure right here is taller than the rest of the building, obviously. What we're proposing is to replace the 6 antennas that are there with 6 new antennas. 3 of them would be slightly bigger than the ones that are there. 3 of them would be slightly smaller than the ones that are there. We're also proposing a 5-foot increase in the antenna centerline height, which would cause the antennas to pop up over the wall on the western side. There you go. So there's a depiction of what the antenna would look like. The taller antenna, the smaller antenna. So they would stick up over the wall a bit. I should point out this depiction here is not accurate. If you drive by the site, these existing antennas are actually sticking out above that wall. Not entirely, but they're about, I would estimate, about 2 feet over the top of the parapet wall there. And again, the top of the structure is much taller than the top of the antennas. So we wouldn't be increasing the height of the base station at all, which is what this is referred to when considering this is an eligible facilities request under Section 6409 of the Federal Taxpayer Relief Act of 2012, which is obviously codified in your town code. We're also proposing to add 6 radios, which would be located behind the big antennas, 2 behind that one, 2 behind that one, and 2 behind the one on the northeastern side. You wouldn't be able to see those unless you're standing on the side. They'd fit right in behind the tall antenna. And they're just there to help promote the efficiency and performance of the antennas. We're also proposing 2 additional equipment cabinets on the base, on the roof, the equipment platform there. That's shown right there. And we're going to relocate one of the existing cabinets to the outside edge there, to the northern edge of the compound. We are also removing 3 coax cables and adding 3 HCS cables to help help the performance of these antennas. Aside from that, everything else is remaining the same. And I should point out that all the antennas and related equipment that are visible will be painted to match, just like the existing antennas that are there.
Any questions from the board? Joe Limbeck?
I see you're adding 2 battery cabinets. Are there existing battery cabinets there now?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. If there are, they'll be replaced by the ones we're installing.
And do you know lithium-ion batteries?
I don't know what type of batteries they use.
Okay, and, well, the reason I ask is there's a specific firefighting requirements for lithium-ion batteries. And again, depending on the quantity that you've got, that may involve reporting to the Ontario County Emergency Planning Commission and the Fishers Fire Department. So
Okay.
Understanding what type and how many, or the quantity, is important for the firefighters. I'm done.
Scott?
Just so I'm clear, we're looking at a roof plan, is that correct, of the building that is located on the property? Is that what we're looking at there?
Yes, this is an aerial view here of the roof.
And you don't have an aerial or an oblique showing the building itself and where it's situated on the site, do you? I looked through your packet, I didn't see anything.
I don't. So this is, I believe, is it Pittsburgh Victor Road right here? And then is it I think it's Turk Hill Road on the north side.
Okay.
So it's right on the corner there.
Okay, so then,
Boomies and Moe's.
Okay.
Line.
Yeah, Moe's is on this corner here. I believe there's a steakhouse, Japanese steakhouse right here.
well, there's a photo. He's got one. Okay, so there's already existing features there, existing equipment you're upgrading, and I guess based on what I'm seeing on the roof plan there, that's a pretty busy roof in terms of telecommunication stuff.
Our communications equipment is located right there. There's obviously some cabling going here and here. I can't speak to what these rectangles and squares are here.
Okay.
And I don't know, frankly, where the other carrier's equipment is located on the roof. I don't know that we show it here.
Okay, I guess I understand where you are now, so that helps me out. I have noticed the existing antennas, I guess, over by Moe's, right? Is that where they're located?
Yeah, there's, I believe, 2 right here, 2 or 3 right there, and then more over here on this side as well.
Okay, I don't have any more questions, I guess.
No questions.
No questions, Ernie.
Wes, anything?
So I did have a comment, probably the biggest, or the most significant comment that I had was about the protruding of the antenna above the parapet wall. He's addressed that comment. There's a couple of more minor, just detail comments that we had in our letter that we sent out today. The package that was submitted is comprehensive. It also included documentation about the structural ability for the building to accommodate the loads, the proposed loads, and as well as the brackets and mounting surfaces for the antenna. So we're all set.
Okay, thanks, Wes. Anybody, Dave? Anyone there?
The room's almost empty.
Okay, that's, having no other comments, a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Joe Logan's moved,
Second.
and Joe Limbeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
It is closed. And we do have, where'd it go? There it is. We do have a resolution for Transcend/T-Mobile, 140 Cobblestone Court, today's date, 1/25/22, application number 47SP/2021, 13SU 2021, whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 9. Now therefore it be resolved that the application of T-Mobile Northeast LLC by Transcend Wireless, 103 Monarch Drive, Liverpool, New York, site plan entitled Transcend/T-Mobile, located at Cobblestone, drawn by CCG, received by the Planning Board Secretary December 21, 2021. Planning Board Site Plan Approval number 47-SP 2021, and Special Use Application number 13SU 2021 be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. Number one, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4. Number two, that comments from Labella Associates dated January 25, 2022 be addressed. Three, that a building permit be obtained prior to the proposed construction, or to the proposed construction beginning, I should say. Four, that the color match the banding color pattern behind the panels. And be it further resolved that the planning board secretary distribute the planning board's approval letter. We have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second. I'll second.
Logan seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Yes,
Sure.
you'll be getting a letter anyway. You too. That was our last item, so unless somebody has something else, we'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Bill Linvig,
Second.
the motion, Scott seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Rapid fire.